Welcome to More Than a Few Words, a marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. This is really me. This is not an AI generated version of me, but that does not mean that I'm not going to use AI when I'm done recording to create marketing for this episode and other things. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how you can save time and money on email and social media using AI. And to have this conversation, I have invited Kendra Corman to join me. She's a seasoned marketing strategist working with a diverse range of clients, including small businesses and multinational brands like Jeep. She's a marketing expert. She's known for her practical insights and effective strategies. She's a returning visitor to More Than a Few Words, and there'll be a link to our other conversation and her new book. Kendra, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me back. I'm super excited to be here.
I am really excited to talk to you because you've been doing some interesting things with AI, and I have a love-hate relationship with it. But I really like this idea of streamlining my social media and my email. If I'm going to start doing that, what are some of the things I need to do first to make sure that the output is what I want?
So I love AI. First off, it saves me 30 to 40 hours a week on average, which is insane, right? I
Yeah.
don't work less hours. I just get more done
Mm-hmm.
because I have a partner in crime. But I love the fact that you're looking to streamline some of your processes with AI, especially related to email and social. And the first thing that you need to do is have AI get your voice. And that's for social and for email. And that's two different voices because you do write in a different style for all of the different mediums, right? And when they're longer form, you may add a little bit more energy, but if it's shorter, maybe it's punchier. So you want to have it get your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I ask AI to get the voice as if it was going to train another AI system on it. And I give it samples of stuff that I've really written. And then it tells me in a natural language paragraph, which is how AI learns, what that voice is. And then I use it as an input in future prompts when I have it creating content for me. So, for instance, my LinkedIn voice for my personal page is different than the company page or Facebook and TikTok. And because of that, I actually give it a different voice and I give it different direction, slightly different direction.
Mm-hmm.
But with a podcast, you are perfectly poised to leverage AI because you have real content.
Oh my gosh, yes. I would say that my podcast is probably my most natural voice. It's my least edited. Yes, I do clean up the episodes, but it is my least episode edited. And it's interesting because I use AI to edit and create summaries, but I never thought about starting with listen to the or read these transcripts to define my voice and now use this voice to write the summaries. Oh, that'll save me way more time because I'm always rewriting the summaries because they're not quite me.
Yes, I'm always rewriting the summaries. And so I actually finally found a prompt that is, or a set of instructions, I'll call it, that I give to Claude.ai that has finally started to work, that takes very little editing, which, because I have a podcast too, and I love leveraging that. And I give it an outline, I give it a list of words not to use. Crucial.
Oh,
No. Let's dive deep. No. Like Maven. No, we're done with that one. I used it for a couple of weeks. I just didn't like it. So I actually have a list of AI words not to use that I also tell it in its instructions so that, again, it's more me and it's less editing.
that's so interesting because way back in my corporate days, we wrote a brand guide for the company that I was working for, and we outlawed the use of words that ended in IZE. No maximize, no utilize, no prioritize, because we felt like that gave our overall writing a very pretentious tone. And we gave that instructions to human writers. It makes perfect sense to give that same instructions to the robot
If
who's
you have
writing you.
if you have brand guidelines with words to use and phrases and tones and things, give it to AI. It is
Mhm,
amazing that
mhm,
it understands what the information you're giving it.
mhm. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so step number one, we want to get voice. Now I've got my voice. Now, how do I use it for social media versus email marketing to get the best for both environments?
So, I treat them separate because they're separate mediums, which is great, right? Because that's a best practice for what we did before AI, right?
Mhm.
So, when you're using social media, like if I'm going to announce a podcast episode, I have my voice for it. I have the instructions and I have the transcript. So I take the transcript, I put that in AI and I say, you're the podcast producer for Kendra Corman's Imperfect Marketing podcast. You have been tasked with launching social media posts for the episode. Let's start with the first post. Here's the voice to use, and here are the words not to use. I actually have it saved in custom instructions because
Mhm.
I pay a lot of money for a lot of different systems, but you can still do all of it in the free version too. And then I'm like, here's the transcript for the episode that you can use to leverage in your social post. And then I'll give it like the link that I want it to go to, or where, hey, listen, wherever you listen to podcasts,
Mhm.
and or check it out on YouTube. And then I'll link to the YouTube version of it. So, and then I'll have it to do one. I'll tell it, hey, this is LinkedIn or this is Facebook. And then if I do LinkedIn, a lot of times I'll say, hey, you're writing it now for Kendra Corman's personal LinkedIn profile. I give them, more or less the same transcript and I say, be sure to start with a hook that is not new episode alert. I used to do that all the time and then I don't like it anymore. So now I've changed to trying to talk more about the value in the episode. And so I tell it that's exactly what I want you to do, like I would an intern or an employee. I give it as much information as possible and then I let it run wild. When it comes to emails, not all my emails are about my podcast. So a lot of times I will just do things like I want to write a email about, or you are an email marketer working for Kendra Corman. You've been hired to write an engaging and fun email. Here's her voice. What she'd like to cover in this email is how AI saves her time, or 7 surprising ways to leverage AI in your marketing communications, or here are 2 behind the scenes prompts that are my favorite. And I copy and paste those prompts into ChatGPT or Claude.ai. Claude's a better writer.
Mhm.
Um, and then I get output that I edit. But all the content, all the direction, all that information was me.
Yes. And so you're not starting from ground zero, and that's really the trick, I think, with anything with AI is you don't want to start from ground zero. You want to start from, okay, I learned this last time. And if you're using the paid version, it saves a lot of those prompts. If you're using a free version, just have a note document. And every time you learn something, you're like, ooh, I don't want to use this word, or ooh, I want to make sure I get that. And you keep updating it, it still gets faster and faster.
It does. It does. I heard someone that used the word playful in one of their prompts, and they got sort of like crazy, not playful.
No,
So, yes, one word can make a big difference in your prompt. So, you definitely want to play with them a little bit and experiment. And it is so, so much fun.
yeah, I learned conversational worked better than informal.
Mhm.
Informal, I ended up sounding like a college frat boy.
Hey, dude. Yes,
Yeah.
that's come across before. Hey,
No,
folks.
we're not
Oh,
going to do
folks is
that.
also on my do not use list. So
Well, I'll tell you what, Kendra, I could hang out with you for hours. I have so much more to learn, and you have so much more to teach, but you've got a new book.
yes. This year, I launched my Mastering AI in Communications book just to help people better understand how to type in a prompt. It has the prompt on how to get your voice in it, and it has all of the information that you need to use AI the right way. Again, starting with content, starting with educating, and ending with editing,
Mhm.
which is another step a lot of people seem to skip when they're using AI. But to get the best content out of AI, this book has really great basic prompting instructions and information on how to get there.
Fantastic. And we'll have a link where people can buy the book, learn more about you, and just in general, we'll send them to specific pages, but kendracorman.com is a great place to start. Kendra, thanks for being a part of the show.
Thanks so much for having me back. I love having talks with you.
This was really fun. I really enjoyed it as much or more than the first time.
Me too.
If you've enjoyed this conversation, if you'd like to find other resources for your business, be sure to look for More Than a Few Words wherever you listen to podcasts. Listen to two, they're short. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.